A billionaire like Adrian Cole didn't take orders from anyone, especially not from a barefoot girl sitting on a cold pavement. Yet when she screamed, "Don't eat that," something in her voice cracked through the noise of the city, something that made him freeze just inches before taking a bite of the food he bought only seconds ago. Adrian had no idea that this moment would change him forever. He only knew one thing. When he looked into her terrified eyes, it felt like she was trying to save his life, and she was. Adrian Cole had built empires, bought governments, and controlled markets. But the one thing he couldn't control was loneliness. His assistant had convinced him to walk through the city streets disguised in an old hoodie, hoping he'd see real people again. Annoyed and hungry, he bought a meal from a street vendor. The aroma was tempting, and he lifted the wrap to his mouth, until a small hand grabbed his wrist. The girl couldn't have been more than 11. Dirt smeared across her face, but her eyes, they were sharp, painfully sharp. "Don't eat it," she cried again. Adrian snapped at her. "What do you think you're doing?" But the girl didn't step back. She sniffed the food, then looked at him like he was seconds from death. "It's spoiled. Smell it. That man has been selling the same meat since yesterday. My friend got sick." Her voice trembled, but not from fear, from desperation. Adrian frowned. He lifted the wrap closer and inhaled. His stomach twisted. The smell was faint but wrong. The vendor yelled, calling the girl a liar, shoving her aside. She stumbled, and Adrian caught her before she hit the ground. For a split second, the world slowed. The billionaire who trusted no one, trusted a street kid. He threw the food into the trash. The vendor cursed, but Adrian ignored him. He looked at the girl who saved him for no reason at all. "What's your name?" he asked gently. She hesitated. "Maya." Her voice was barely a whisper. "Are you out here alone?" Adrian asked. Maya shook her head. "I have a brother, but he's sick. Very sick. I was trying to get help." She bit her lip to stop it from trembling, but she failed. Adrian felt something unfamiliar, itch in his chest. He wasn't planning on caring. But he already did. He told her, "Take me to him." Maya didn't wait. She grabbed his sleeve and pulled him through narrow alleys until they reached a torn tent behind an old abandoned building. Inside, a little boy lay bundled in thin blankets, shivering violently. He looked no older than 7. Maya knelt beside him. "Liam, wake up, someone's here to help." Liam barely opened his eyes. Adrian went on one knee, touched the boy's forehead, and instantly knew, high fever, dangerous, maybe even life-threatening. Adrian didn't think twice. He picked the boy up in his arms and said, "We're going to a hospital. Now." Maya's eyes widened. "Sir, we can't pay," Adrian cut her off. "You saved me. Let me save him." In the emergency room, doctors rushed Liam inside. Adrian stayed with Maya, who sat shaking in the waiting area. For the first time in years, Adrian removed his hoodie and sat beside her as himself. Adrian Cole, the billionaire the world watched but no one really knew. Maya didn't care who he was. She leaned her head on his arm, exhausted, trusting him completely. It broke something inside him, something old, cold, and empty. Hours later, the doctor returned. If he hadn't been brought in today, he wouldn't have made it. Maya covered her face and sobbed. Adrian gently held her shoulders, steadying her. "He's safe now," he said softly. "Both of you are." A few days passed, and Liam's condition improved. Maya never left his bedside, and Adrian never left theirs. He arranged warm meals, clothes, and a private room. But one evening, Maya approached him with tears in her eyes, not from fear this time, but gratitude. "Why are you helping us?" she asked. Adrian took a deep breath. "Because you stopped to help a stranger when nobody else would. That means something." Maya shook her head. "You were just someone who looked like you needed saving." Adrian smiled, something he hadn't done genuinely in years, but the biggest surprise came when the doctor revealed something important. Liam wasn't only sick, he was malnourished, dehydrated, and living in conditions no child should endure. Adrian felt a fire rise inside him. A man who had everything suddenly realized he had done nothing meaningful. That night, as the children slept, Adrian made a decision that changed their lives forever. He found the owner of the abandoned building, bought it on the spot, and turned it into a shelter, with food, doctors, beds, and education for every homeless child in that area. When Maya saw the transformation, she stared at him with disbelief. You did all this?" Adrian nodded. "Because of you. You showed me that saving one life can save many more." Maya gasped. Liam hugged Adrian tightly, calling him "Big Brother" for the first time. For a man who once believed money was everything, this moment was priceless. By the time Adrian walked out of the newly built shelter, he wasn't the same man who walked in that afternoon with a spoiled meal in his hand. He walked out with a purpose, because sometimes, the smallest voice can save the biggest heart, and all it took was a beggar girl saying, "Don't eat that."